Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining us today for our webinar on sheet metal, SpaceClaim for sheet metal. My name is Peter and yeah, I'll be running you through the webinar today. So for those of you that aren't familiar with GoToWebinar, there is a text box in the corner where you can submit your questions. And throughout the process today, please do put down any questions that you've got, and I'll try and get to those at the end. And yeah, the webinar should run from 11 till 11:30, and yeah, we'll try and get as many of your questions in as we can at the end. Okay. Oh, hang on. Just going to try and hide this. Okay. Okay, so the title of today's webinar is Sheet Metal from 3D to 2D Fast. So what we're going to try to do is look at sheet metal components and look at the problems engineers face in creating their 2D blank from 3D geometry. In SpaceClaim, we can import almost any file type. So we'll be bringing in native files from SolidWorks, we're bringing IGES files and step files, looking at some of the problems that occur and how we can get those ready for you guys to manufacture as soon as possible. SpaceClaim has a built-in sheet metal capabilities. So as I'll go through, I'll show you some of the key features that the sheet metal tab operates in, looking at how you can optimize your parts for sheet metal and how you can quickly and easily make design changes to them even after you've unfolded them. Okay, so what I want to do really is I'd like to get into the CAD as soon as possible, to be honest. So what I'll do is I'll switch across now into SpaceClaim and I'll load up our first example. Okay, so what we've got here is I've just loaded up a file that is a native SolidWorks part. Let me try and hide this a little bit more. There we go, it's a bit better. Yeah, so I've loaded up a file which is a native SolidWorks part, and as you can see, it's come in just as a dumb solid. For those of you that aren't familiar with SpaceClaim, all files come in as single solids. It's not a feature-based modeler, it's a direct modeler. So what you can do with that, in essence, is make really quick and easy design changes to your model without throwing out the structure tree. So if I if I zoom into this part here, let me just grab this corner here, and if I wanted to move it or adjust it, we'd use kind of three main tools, which are pull, move, and fill. So if I want to change the size of this hole, I could grab on the edge of it and just pull that out and adjust it. If I want to move this hole, move it positionally, you can just grab that, move that around. Or even if I wanted to change this hole into a slot, I can grab the edge, pull that across into a slot. So it gives you really quick and easy design changes, especially when you're bringing in files from another platform. You don't have to go through the feature recognition, and you can just change things on the fly. Okay, so what I'll do next is I will convert this part into sheet metal. So I go into the sheet metal tab here, click convert, and then click on your part. As you can see, what it does is it highlights all the bends in a purple color. But although it's now sheet metal, it still means that you can still adjust it, even in sheet metal. It's still got the same functionality in the tab. So if I click on a face and go to pull, I can extend this face. If I grab on the surface here and pull it out, because now we're in sheet metal, it automatically maintains the material thickness. So as I pull it out, as you can see, the material thickness remains constant. If I wanted to move this, I grab onto the edge and move it, and you can change the angle and direction of your bend. But if you're just happy with your part and you're just looking to get a quick unfold, the next step you could really go through here is you can see there's some beads in there, there's other features in here, and in the SpaceClaim, in the sheet metal tab in SpaceClaim, it has some automatic identify options. So you come in here, first you go to convert, and then the next step is to identify. So we can see we've got some beads here. So if I go for, and we look for the beads option, it will identify all those. And now they're in there. And when you unfold, you can highlight these areas, and you'll see them in the unfold. The other features and pieces here, we can have a look, and there's some little forms in there. And it's all automatic features, so you just run through the automatic features. We can ignore the cutouts and just identify that these are little forms that have nothing to do with our sheet metal part. And then once we're happy and we feel like we've kind of identified everything within this sheet metal part, we can simply and easily unfold. So you just click onto the surface, any of the flat surfaces, and hit unfold. And what we've got here now is we have our flat blank. So if I bring this up into two windows. So as you can see, we have our 3D sheet metal part here, and our 2D blank for laser cutting or water jet cutting here. And what you can do is any changes you make in the design, they automatically update in the blank. So if I click on this edge here and decide to pull this, my 2D unfold, as you can see here, will automatically update that. If I look at some of the holes around here and decide to get rid of those or change them, you can see that the 2D automatically changes with that as well. Another thing you can do in the sheet metal tab is you can let me just hide this a minute. Another thing you can do is you can change these. So at the moment we've got everything as bends, but if you wanted to change the junctions here, I can change these to rips. So if I click on this junction and change that now to a rip with no overlap, you can see that easily changes from a bend to a rip, and it also updates in the structure tree. So if you're looking to create a part with maybe a couple of laser blanks and then afterwards weld them together, you can now see that that's separated this one solid model into 3 separate parts. And if I go through and unfold them again, it unfolds all the parts as all the separate rips as separate parts for your laser cutting. Another part I'm going to jump into now is when you kind of receive geometry from a client that might not be, it might need a few fixes or isn't really designed for sheet metal. So what I've got here is I've just got an IGES file, and sometimes they might even come in like this, like just loads of surfaces together. In SpaceClaim we have this repair tab here, and in this you can quickly and easily turn your surface model into a solid model. So the first step we'll go through is you just go through these sort of solidify options here. So I'm going to stitch all these surfaces together, and that's just shown by a red line where all the surfaces are going to stitch together. It's then turned into one surface, but what we're looking for really is a solid body. So I'm going to look now for any gaps. There's no gaps in this model, but there are some missing faces. So it's very quick and easy. You just click onto the red outline and it will fill a surface across that missing face. So we do the same again, and now what we've got here is we have our solid body. Again, to unfold this, we'd need to convert it to sheet metal. So we're switching over into the sheet metal tab, click convert, and it will convert it into sheet metal. But as you can see, again, it's come up with some red lines to indicate there's issues with the sheet metal part, because these are all sharps with no bends. So you can quickly just click on these edges, and it will build in your bends. Or you can box select, and it will do them at the same time. So now this looks like a part that we should be able to unfold. So I'll click onto one of the surfaces, and we can unfold to that surface there. But as you can see, it's still maintained in 3D. So what the problem we have here is in the corners we need to, instead of having bends here, we need to have rips. So again, like I showed you earlier, it's really simple. You just click on the junction and then change that to a partial overlap, full overlap, or whatever you're looking to do. And we can change these. And if I bring up the unfold at the same time, you can see that as I change in 3D, our 2D profile also changes. So it's just starting to unfold it as I change it in real time. And I'm going to go through another option again, with a similar sort of option, but a slightly more complex part. So this is a step file. You just drag and drop that in. So again, this is a solid part that hasn't really been modelled for sheet metal. So the first step I'm going to do is convert this into sheet metal again. So just click convert, then onto the part. And then what I want to do is I want to go through and I'm going to identify the parts that I want to be rips, so I can kind of fold this out. So I'm going to go for no overlap, and I'm going to select these parts here and this one here, so that my part will fold right out. And then finally on the other side. And then the rest of these areas here, these sharps here, I think I'm just going to have them as bends. So I can do a quick box select over all the rest of that, and that will convert that now into something that will unfold quite happily, in theory. So we'll give this a go now. I'll select the top surface, and we'll go to unfold. And again, there you go. We've already unfolded 3 parts now, and it's been, the webinar's been going for 15 minutes, so it's really quick. And these are parts that are not necessarily designed for sheet metal, and with the built-in functionality of the sheet metal tab in SpaceClaim, you can really quickly get to your flat blank. But I'm just going to zoom in on this part here, and as you can see, there's like clearances and cutouts, and there's some parts that you might want to change after you've unfolded it. So if I switch back to the model and suspend the sheet metal, I can go through and I can make some design changes to the model itself, like these clearance and cutaways here. If you want to get rid of those, you can still do that. So SpaceClaim has these built-in automatic features but if you want complete design change, design control, you still have that. So I'll switch over to Design tab, and using this command here, fill, we can drag over sections and fill those in, and start to clean up the model and get rid of those sections, get rid of those cutaway sections, and just bring the model all in a bit tighter. So I'll go through, and again in here you can see there's like lots of clearance here. You can go over that, fill that in, and it brings it all in a lot tighter. And if I go now and get back into sheet metal, I jump over into my blank, and you can see it's all the 2D profile is a lot cleaner now. And to export this, to export any 2D profile to your laser is really simple. You just click File, Save As, and there's all your options here, and your DXF or DWG formats are in there as well. There's also bend lines, and there's all the different layers you can turn on and off. So if you wanted to add more in there, so you can turn your bend lines on and off. If you wanted to add those in for your reference, you can put them in there. You've got some dimensions. So it's all quick. It's all really easy, and it's pretty much all automated. I'll go through another example now. And yeah, this is a part here that I'm going to quickly convert to sheet metal again. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's like showing up the bends here, but there's a few pink areas here that are highlighted, and a couple of some red lines here. So it's telling you that although some of the part will unfold, not necessarily all of it will. So if I zoom into this corner here, and yeah, what you can see is if I kind of hover over the bends here, the radius here, you can see they're slightly off center. So that means that the wall thickness is different. No, not the wall thickness. The bends, the internal and external, are not equal to the wall thickness. So what you can do is quickly click on this pink section here, and SpaceClaim will solve that problem for you. So I'll just go through that again, and you'll see the radius change. It just brings that in tighter, so that it's uniform for sheet metal. I'll do the same on the other side, and on this one here. And then these parts here are just simply telling you that there hasn't been any radius modelled in. So that's now added in our bend radius, and we've got the same on this side. Another sort of checking and fixing option in the sheet metal is this square up. So if I click square up on this part here, it highlights some areas where the model might need to be squared up. So this is just when the side faces are not perpendicular to the back faces. So this surface and this surface are not at right angle to each other. So you can go through and you can click on the edges, and it will start to square up this model, so that when you laser cut you get a much better result. You can go through one by one, or you can just click on the face that you want everything to be squared to, and it'll automatically adjust the model. So now, if I go through and I unfold this, yeah, we got, no, it's dead flat. So you can just, to make sure everything's flat, sometimes what I like to do is just kind of go flat on the side and give it a final check to make sure there's nothing bending out. And there we go. Another aspect of SpaceClaim that's definitely worth looking at is the drawing side. So now you've got your flat blanks. So of course, a SpaceClaim has a built-in drawing section. So you can bring a part in here, and it gives you all your elevations. You can bring in any projections you desire. The cool thing as well is if you give it a tilt in 3D, it shows you your model in 3D. So it's really easy to kind of get your head around the drawing. And we can go through and we can dimension up this. So I can come in here and I can put in my angles and everything the shop floor would need to create this part. And we go up to here, and everything has auto snaps. And yeah, I mean the drawing feature in SpaceClaim is awesome, and it just it's kind of a one-stop shop for sheet metal. Everything you need to do, it can all be done within the software, and really quick and easily. So again, if I want to save this off, we can save this off as a DWG, as a DXF, or as a PDF, whatever you desire. Really, our sort of import and export capabilities are limitless. So whatever you're looking to do, whatever files you bring in, SpaceClaim can help you get that ready for the shop floor. So I kind of keeping conscious of the time. We've got 5 minutes left. I've kind of feel like I rushed through it a little bit, but let's just see if we've got any questions in the last 5 minutes. We haven't, but if you have anything that pops into your head, please do email across. What I'm going to do with the webinar is I've recorded this, so I'm going to send it out in an email to everyone that couldn't make it and everyone that has made it. And if anything pops into your head, just give me a shout and I can run through anything with you. I hope it's been informative. I hope I haven't spoke too quickly, and I hope it gives you an idea of how SpaceClaim can really easily take your 3D parts, unfold them, and get them ready for sheet metal manufacture. Thank you very much, and yeah, stay tuned for more webinars in the future.